quick video update. First day out mowing with the 60. Did fine. There's a lot of clearance issues with these trailer. You got to come in on it dead on, or else you rub the tires. I'll fix some fenders on that. I put this rig together just one day. I had basically. I did have another day that I welded up the hitch on the Geo, and I was just now checking my hitch and making sure that it didn't rip through the body or anything. I think it's still good. You know, I don't see any stress fracturing or anything on that point. And then I checked the two underneath where the sway bar connections are. That's the other connections to the hitch. Anyway, I had to tilt this bar forward, re-weld it so that it would capture the front wheels. Normally I use propane tanks that are cut in half and welded in place, because with a propane tank, if the wheel would turn sideways, then you're not in trouble. But you know, I had to kind of throw this together because of the fuel prices. My ramps were a little bit I got hung up a couple times backing off of the trailer, so I just put these ramps. They're pretty good material actually for that purpose. I welded a little steel on the front edge that hangs into that groove, and then the wood side goes on the ground, so that if I have to park in a customer's drive, I don't tear it up. But I had to put a little bit of arch onto the ramps, and I just put a board up here and then drove the diesel. It's heavy enough that it put a little bit of arch onto them. So I drove the Dodge up partway onto the ramp, and when the ramp was upside down and part of it was on the board, and then that put enough arch into it. The mow truck is still viable and it works well, but there's a big difference between 50 miles to the gallon and you know, 16 to 18 or whatever. So for now, I'm gonna give this a good shot. It pulled fine. I mean, you ain't gonna break no speed records. That's a 55 horsepower, 3-cylinder, 1-liter engine with a 5-speed manual transmission. Once it's rolling, it does fine. You know, I can pull most of the area around here in 4th gear. I'll have to drop to 3rd very, very rarely, going up major hills or something. But all in all, it worked great. And then of course the learning process was the biggest improvement, I still believe, and it still holds true even on this rig, and even more so, is the putting the attachments on the mower. Now the mower is being pulled at forward motion, so my pins were a little not correct in that when your wind pressure is pushing backwards, the blower wanted to roll out of place, and I had to use some bungee balls for now until I figure out that. But when it was in a backwards position, it just kind of all naturally locked in place. The Echo SRM 3020 is doing absolutely fabulous. I love it. I'll probably go get another one. I did get my 266T up and running properly, but I just like the extra torque and power of the 3020. Not that I ever use full, but I like to, you know, be able to use mid to 3/4 throttle and just, you know, fast pace. Basically everything's working great. It's not the rig for everybody, obviously, but if a solo operator, it worked great. And I think there's going to be a huge fuel savings. I went out and did my normal route, and I'm still on full. And that's with I think the tank on these Geo Metros are like 7 or 8, or I don't know, maybe 10 gallons, but it's still reading full. So, and I went and did my normal Monday route. I can't remember how many yards it was. It wasn't in the teens like it was last week, because some of the people are still on every other week, but it was up there nearly into the, you know, but it doesn't really matter. it's all a learning experience, and I'm just trying to get ahead of the curve on where things might be going.